What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. Drake's Views is out. I reviewed it just yesterday. I'll include a link in the description if you want to check that out. But I thought it would be cool to kind of talk about the top 5 songs off the album. Now, this is all subjective. This is my top 5. And I encourage you to list your top 5 in the comment section below. And, let me know why you like certain records. So let's get into it. In no particular order because I don't like ranking things to that degree. Here's my list. Number 1, Keep the Family Close. Drake has a thing with intros. He is great at doing intros. Dating back to So Far Gone with Lust for Life, and then Thank Me Later had Fireworks. Nothing Was the Same had Tuscan Leather. So Drake knows how to do intros, and intros are an important part of an album. If you want to make an intro, that's going to draw the people in, and naturally everybody's going to listen to Drake because he's Drake. But an intro is still an important part of an album, and Drake understands that and always comes through. I think the one of the things that I was thinking about when I was listening to the intro, as well as like the other songs on the album, is like he talks about women that he's been with in the past and whatnot. And he names names at times, Erica, Monique. That's just a couple that off the top of my head that I remember from Views. And then there's a lot of faceless women that never get like that actual mention. So I wonder if they listen to Drake's music and they're like, that's my situation that I had with Drake. I wonder if the women actually know that Drake is talking about him, because at times it's like he's very specific about things, and other times he's very just vague. So I wonder and that was coming from listening to Keep the Family Close. My second favorite record on the album is Western Road Flows. It's that cocky rapping one long verse Drake, and it is glorious. Granted, there's a few bad lines here and there, but a few bad lines don't make the song, terrible by any means. And on an album that's kind of full of more R&B and reggae, dancehall, mainstream top 40 type of songs, having a Western Road Flows, it stands out, and it's probably one of my favorite rapping Drake songs on the album. Number 3 is Controller. That is a potential summer anthem right there. I think honestly that could be the follow-up to One Dance. I know One Dance hasn't even really hit its peak. It's only number 2 on the Billboard charts, and it should be number 1 soon. I imagine him knocking out Designer. It's going to be number 1 soon. It'll be his first solo number 1 hit. And I think from there it's like, where does Drake go next? Because does he continue to push One Dance solely through the summer, or does he get ambitious and kind of push several records? And I think I talked about this kind of in my review, but I think Controller is like the perfect summertime hit. It's catchy, it's simple, and it's effective. It works. And I would love to see that record, really ascend the charts and, be playing on the radio all over the place and performed at his shows, all of that. And I think it definitely has the potential. And that's what Views essentially is. It's one big hit factory waiting to happen. It just depends on how Drake wants to push it. And, I guess we'll see in the coming months, but Controller is definitely one of those records. And another one of those records, my number 4 pick is Too Good featuring Rihanna. It's another potential single I feel that would work well in the summer. And it's pulling from that summer section of the album. As Drake said in his Zane Lowe interview, the album goes from winter to summer, back to winter again. And, these two records come from the summer patch, and so does One Dance. So it kind of alludes to maybe Drake is going to push these type of records in the summer, and then push some of the winter records when it gets colder in the fall, winter. I don't know, but it seems like a plausible thinking. Something that he will do. And Too Good just kind of reinforces that Drake and Rihanna have great chemistry musically. And I don't know if the two will ever have like a bad song together. They have, I think it's 4 or 5 records now, and they've all been good. My last pick is the outro track, not including Hotline Bling. is Views, the title track. This is Drake kind of summing up his career, his thoughts. You know, it's a good contrast from Keep the Family Close. Keep the Family Close is a lot personal, and Views itself is more like out there for the world in a way that it's still personal to Drake, but I think the message itself spreads farther. Keep the Family Close obviously is a good record, but some people, you know, can't relate to like the scenario Drake is talking about. But on Views, you know, he talks about, you know, what it takes to get to this level, and, you know, being at the top, things of that nature. One of the lines that stood out to me was, "Look, they'd rather run up on me than run towards their goals." And I like that a lot. It's like it's a good Instagram caption, Twitter, whatever you want to use it for. But it also is a nice reflection of the last 365 days that Drake has had. You know, he had to deal with Meek Mill and then the ghostwriting allegations, you know, everybody trying to tear him down. So it's like these people are trying to tear him down instead of, you know, trying to make their career flourish. You know, you can make the argument that the whole Drake beef hurt Meek Mill a lot, and you can make an argument against it, but that's not what this video is about. That was my top 5, and I would love to know what your top 5 is in the comment section below. And then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video, follow me on Twitter @SermonsDomain, and as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching, and until next time, peace.